Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Welcome to CEC District 25 May meeting. Let's start with the roll call. Carly?
Joseph Di Benedetto.
Present.
Wing Yu. Present. Emery Knable. I saw her. Emery. Emery. Sung Young.
Sorry, present.
Okay. Sung Young Lee.
Present.
Michelle Frederick.
Right to the PA.
Michelle.
And I'm really like my name was coming from the outside.
Michelle.
I don't know if everybody realizing it. There's a lot of.
Okay, she's here, but
Okay.
Sana Tayeb.
Present.
Eden Rubenstein is absent. Mohammed Hunain.
Or academic. So what happened with the lot?
Echo.
I don't know. Someone said.
So
It's Joseph Chow is talking in the background. He's unmuted. I don't want to mute him because he won't say he's present. So let's get to him.
Yeah,
Oh, I did
we
already.
did already.
Oh, I'm here.
I
I
know.
didn't hear my name. All right. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you. Okay, there you go. Thank you.
So we have quorum present. We're going to move up forward with our meeting. I don't know if you could put the minutes on from last month, Carly, on the screen there, and let's approve April's minutes, and then we'll move on.
It's not letting me show the rest.
Do we have any motions to approve the minutes from April?
Show the rest of it.
Minutes don't have to be approved, but motion to approve, I see no changes that need to be made.
Are there any changes that need to be made? So if we have consensus, we can approve the minutes. We don't have to have a motion. I understand that. Thank you, Emery. I'm assuming we have consensus, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so thank you. I'm gonna move things around a little bit this evening because we have the honor of having our UFT president, Michael Mulgrew, here, and we have UFT in the house. We have former district leader for our district, Joseph Kessler, and our current leader, Lamar Hughes, in the house. So I wanted to shout out to them, and I want to welcome President Michael Mulgrew, and we're going to start with you, if you don't mind.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Joe, for inviting me. I know we had to try to get this arranged, and I'm glad that we were able to finally get this done. And, you know, there's good things that it took a little while because, I mean, we literally finished the state budget last night, close to midnight. And there were some issues clearly on charter schools in the budget, but the money in the budget and the money for all of the various degree programs that we think are important for New York City, it was definitely there. So I want, you know, our legislators, both the state Senate and the Assembly, really did a great job in trying to get all of that done. And now it leads us to the place where, you know, in Albany, when I'm having my conversations with all the elected officials, they tell me, well, look, what a great job we've done. We keep increasing education funding. And it's true. I said, but, you know, I now have to go to New York City and make sure that that funding actually gets to the schools and to the classrooms and to the programs, because that's where it's supposed to be. And we continue to have struggles because the mayor has once again announced another round of cuts. And, you know, education, between the first cut he already announced and this one, is now at 7% when we're getting unprecedented amounts of funding from the state of New York. So, you know, something's not, that's something we're going to have to work on very, very closely with the city council to make sure that we're getting this funding and that we shouldn't be getting cut at this moment. And then more importantly, as always, one of our biggest frustrations is we want the funding in the schools. That's where we believe the funding should be at all times. We need to eliminate any of what we consider to be the very large bureaucracy that sits over our entire school system And, you know, and anytime any work has to be done there, they seem to be able to quickly get out a proposal so they can hire more outside consultants and people to come in and do the work that we always assumed they were doing. And then as we move forward into next school year, there will, you know, I know that all of the principals and a lot of parents are aware that the chancellor now is moving towards what would be known as a basic literacy curriculum for 15 school districts, and with the goal of then rolling that out to the other school districts for K-8 through literacy. And that would be 15 starting in September, and then the other school K-8 school districts the following September. We're watching that very closely right now. We're having very, you know, tough conversations with them that, you know, if you're going to roll anything out, you need to give autonomy to the schools. We know, you know, people always talk to us about cultural sensitivity, which we support, but I like to tell people at all times, we have over 180 languages that are spoken in our school system. So the school has to have the support to make sure that they have the materials and that they're doing things that will support the culture of the students in their schools. People think cultural sensitivity is like a word that just covers every, you know, one or two cultures. That's just not true here. And I'm assuming by this time next year, we're going to be over 200 languages, because with a lot of the newcomers we've received this year, there are new languages which we have never had before in our school system. So for us, it's like, first, we want to make sure that you're giving the support to the schools to do this work, that you're doing the training properly, the teachers are getting the right professional development in a timely manner, that if you're using these curriculums, then the Department of Ed should know what materials and supplies schools need. Don't make every school do this on their own, and, you know, make this something that has a chance of succeeding. If the Department of Ed does what it has done in the past, which is basically leave every school to figure it out on their own, then a lot of schools will figure it out, and then others will struggle. And that's what we're trying to avoid. And so we're having those conversations. And now that the budget is done, that kicks in the timeline for what is known as the class size report that has to be submitted to the state education department. And I want to make this clear to everyone here in CEC 25. The class size legislation, we've had conversations already with the Department of Ed. We support that there should be parents involved in this process. But we also want to make sure, and the Department of Ed understands this is not about excluding children from overcrowded schools. This is about creating more space for schools that people want to get to. And, you know, for this year, the plan is quite simple to do. It really is, because we have a lot of, after the pandemic, we have a lot of space in different areas. We still have very overcrowded areas, especially in your borough, but we have a lot of space in areas, so we can get to the 20%, and we're just making sure it's being done properly. But now that timeline literally starts today. So I just wanted to give everyone a quick update on that. And then myself, in my conversations now with the chancellor, I said, look, there's certain things that have to get cleared up as we move forward. The gifted and talented mess that we've been left with has to get straightened out. This has to be fixed. And I said, and we have always said we support multiple measures. There's absolutely a place for looking at how students do, or students who are doing well, and we can see their achievement. But there's also absolutely a place for testing. You know, and that's when I hear these discussions and arguments about, you know, the Department of Ed saying, well, we have back again, we're a cultural sensitivity. I'm like, yeah, well, there are a lot of cultures that believe that testing is part of their culture. So we have to recognize all of this as we move forward. And those are really our conversations right now that's going on with the Department of Ed. But now that they're doing this major literacy push, that's a big issue, because we want to make sure if they're doing it, if it's not rolled out, they're going to have to roll it out differently than it has been done in the last 30 years. The last 30 years, the Department of Ed's philosophy has been every school go figure it out on your own. Well, that's not going to work with this. And it could be a really good program, but it's not going to work unless there is coordinated training and there is real support for every school. And there are people there to help the schools, not come in and tell them what they're doing wrong or say you're not doing it right. And that's going to be a big fight for us. And in terms of space, as we're talking about class size, I think it's really important, and this was our big fight over our charter schools at this moment, In Albany, we have confirmed, and these are not the U of T's documents. This is the Department of Education of New York City's documents. This is the State Education Department's documents that say that there's over 35,000 unutilized seats in charter schools right now in New York City. So this whole fight in Albany with the governor about this was insane to us. You know, we have a housing crisis in the city of New York. We have a homeless crisis. We have a mental health crisis. They spent very little time on any of that because the governor didn't really want to, you know, negotiate on any of that. And we landed up in this big fight for the last 2 weeks on charter schools when they can't even fill the seats they have now. But for me, it says that as we move forward with the class size plan, where we have space, we need to utilize it for classes, but we also want programs in our schools. We want different things where we have rooms that we can utilize specifically for mental wellness activities and different things that we have seen being used across the country that are now becoming standardized in a lot of schools. And we think every child in New York City and every school should have the ability to deliver that for the children. So I know my time was limited tonight, but I just wanted to give a quick overview. And because, as I said, the budget literally finished at around midnight last night, I just wanted to give what that means to us and where we're headed. And Joe, I got a couple of minutes if we want to.
Sure, I just wanted to, and I appreciate you being here this evening. I appreciate your comments. I did want to state, look, I went early this week to a meeting with the chancellor and some of our elected officials at Townsend Harris High School.
Okay.
And, you know, the chancellor spoke about diversity, cultural sensitivity, but he said, listen, I'm all for that, which I am for as well. But he said, I do not want to go away from excellence. So I think this chancellor is a good, I have confidence in him, and I think that you can work with him. I think he's
Yes.
not, you know, I think he's flexible. So, you know, I wish you luck with that. You
I
know,
agree
think
with
he
that.
can
He's I've known him for years, and he actually has the schools that he has started here in New York City. He has not shied away from a challenge, and I always respected his work. And I do have a good relationship with you, and I agree with what you just said.
So I think he's good. And in our district, we have a lot of schools that are expanding. We
Good.
have new schools coming in. We are a little bit concerned about filling up the space, right? But it may be with the class size. What's your opinion on, you know, with these charters? What happens if we can't fill up these schools?
Well, right now, the state did, you know, because of a lot of, you know, the parent advocacy groups, us and teachers from around the state, when we pushed at the governor on her proposal, her first proposal was to put 88 charters inside of New York City. We were able to shoot that down. Then she tried to put 22 zombies inside of New York City. We're able to stop that. Then she said she just wants 14 zombies in New York City. And then we said, then you need to eliminate co-location. She didn't want to open up, they didn't want to open up the law at that point because we were really late in the session. But so they created a fund for schools only in New York City to pay for their rent. So at this point, any charter school who would try to co-locate, we would clearly put in a huge fight up against them because we're going to need all the space. And again, just because if a school has a lot of space, yes, class size will fill up a lot of it, but if there's still space left, there's more that we should be doing for children. There's more that, you know, the more and more services that each schools are being asked to deliver the children, we need space to do that. You know, upstate New York, this is pretty common. They have very large schools with, you know, very small class sizes, but they have guidance counselors having their own offices all throughout the building. They have social emotional wellness people doing the same thing. I believe the children in New York City deserve the same exact type of atmosphere when they go to school. So if they want to fight, we'll fight. But really, this fund to pay any of the rent and over the last 4 years, there's only been one charter operator who has even wanted to co-locate inside of a city school. Only one.
So it's not something that we should be worried about.
Listen, we have to prepare just in case. We have to always be thinking about it. But, you know, and in Queens, we were very successful this year, fighting off really 2 very aggressive attempts to do co-locations. But that was before there was even a state fund to pay for their rent. So it would be very difficult for any politician now to side with any sort of attempt at a co-location.
Just curious, what are zombies?
It's a term. It's just a term. It was like a school was closed, so the charter was considered dead. And then they're like, let's bring them back. So everybody in Albany started calling them zombies.
Oh, understood. Okay.
It's really not an appropriate term for anything to do with a school.
Understood.
But that's literally, I guess it's all the zombie movies and shows and everything that's out there. It's very popular.
Right. Well, the term is catchy.
Yeah. The Walking Dead, I mean, it's nonstop.
Right. I don't know if any of the CEC members have any questions for you, or if anyone in the public does. If you want to raise your hand in the chat or put your question in the chat for President Mulgrew. Does anyone here? Wendy, do you have any questions? Anyone in our audience here? We do have an audience today, which is nice. And any members on our CEC on the panel? I can't see the question of the comment, there's no question. So if that's it, then I want to thank you for being here this evening. And
No, I want to thank, listen, I want to thank you. I don't, this was important for me to do this. I don't have the opportunity to do a lot of CECs because of schedules, and I really wanted to be able to do this one. You're really a great CEC, and it's District 25 is something that I am very, everybody in New York City should be very proud of. It's a great district, and it really has a lot to do with the partnership between, with parents and teachers and elected officials all working together. So this is the way.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much. And it's also a pleasure to work with you. We're all part of a team, and everyone has their own interests, but we work well together, which is nice. And we thank you.
Well, be well, everyone, and be safe.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so now before we move on to our next presentation, we have Tracy Martinez, principal of Bayside High School here. I do want to comment that, our district, we're fortunate. We're in northeastern Queens. We have a very good set of high schools in our district. I want to commend Flushing High School for coming off the focus point, and they do very well. Our own student representative comes from Flushing High School, and he is an outstanding student and has a bright future. So I'm glad that he represents Flushing High School very well. I also recently went to City Council member Vicky Palladino's State of the District, and she indicated that they were going to open a new high school in College Point, the former St. Agnes High School. So that's another high school that we need in our district. She made an official comment, so I'm assuming it's official. We also have such wonderful schools, and we're glad that we have the principal of Bayside High School here, although it's not part of District 25. A lot of District 25 students do go to Bayside High School. So I'm going to segue into and introduce to you Principal Tracy Martinez.
Thank you. Good evening, Community Educational Council District 25 members and President, Community Superintendent DeMango, UFT President Michael Melgroove, and community members. Bayside's dedicated teachers, students, faculty appreciate the opportunity to highlight our school this evening. Joining me this evening is AP Haratunian. She's AP of School Development. Give them a wave. Thank you for being present this evening. As principal, it's my pleasure to lead Bayside High School after my predecessor, Mike Athey. He served as a transformational leader who made the decision to prioritize our students daily. I picked up the baton and continue to ensure that Bayside priorities continue to move forward in excellence. I will share a bit about myself. I'm a mother of two and a wife. My oldest daughter is currently completing her first year in college. My youngest daughter is in middle school. Both of my children attended or attend public schools, and I've served children for the last 23 years. I've been a teacher of 8 years of English language arts, a teacher's assistant, bilingual teacher's assistant for 5 years, an assistant principal for 5 years, a principal in the midst of the pandemic at Martin Van Buren, and now principal of Bayside High School. And so it is definitely my pleasure this evening to share information regarding our school Bayside and really highlighting some of our differences. We welcome any questions that you may have. Feel free to post it in the chat, and at the end of the presentation, we will respond to those questions. All right, so we will share the slides just so that you have a visual of some of the information that we're sharing this evening. All right, thank you, Melissa. Slides. Okay, so this is our orientation, and this is just an example of how our students continue to use their voice to share information and to highlight our school as we continue to have our orientation or any town hall meetings. They are fully invested, and this evening I want to share some of those highlights. Next slide, please. So I will share some fun facts about our school. We're 87 years old. It was established in 1936. We graduated over 5,700,000 students with a 99% graduation rate for 2022, and we're extremely proud of the work that's done by our dedicated educators. We have over 3,000 students, and so yes, we are overcrowded. However, this evening, we want to take an opportunity to highlight our CTE programs. As it was shared, many of our students come from District 25, and only about 24% of our students come from District 26. So we are excited to share this information with you, our community members, so that you have a full understanding of what Bayside has to offer. We have 300 staff members, including 190 faculty, administrators, and counselors, over 80 classrooms, a gym, a pool, athletic field, computer rooms, specialty science labs, art, music studio, library, media center, and more. We continue to update our facilities so that our students have state-of-the-art facilities to participate in our programs. We have over 295 course selections, and of those course selections, 55 of them are accredited, and that means our students continue to earn college credits as they engage in their high school experience. And we continue to grow and expand that opportunity. And I'll speak a little bit about that through our CLEP program. We have over 34 PSAL teams and over 50 student-run clubs. And our students have the opportunity of creating their own clubs of interest. They just simply fill out a form of if they're interested in creating a club, and continue to just gather other peers that may be interested and create their own clubs. Our students are champions in sports, debate, math, science, and other competitions. Next slide. So I spoke a little bit about the fun facts. A day in the life of our student, our classes start at 8 a.m. and it ends at 3:13. Our students have 7 courses on their program, which includes physical education, health, and lunch. We distribute Metro cards for students to commute to and from school. We take safety very serious. So that means that our students swipe in and out in order to go to lunch, for the locker rooms and other secure spaces. So we are able to account for them as they transition throughout our building. Attendance is taken daily, and we are a closed campus. That means that our students do not enter and leave the building for food or a lunch period. We, again, really prioritizing safety. Our teams and clubs meet after school, and tutoring is available for every subject. I will speak a lot about academic press and academic excellence, but in alignment to our academic press and excellence, we ensure that we support our students through tutoring available to them during every lunch period. We have counselors available. So there was a large conversation around social emotional wellness. So we ensure that our counselors are available to our students to support them in this post-pandemic space and setting. And of course, as I emphasize, our academic press and our academic excellence really is centered around giving our students ample opportunity to practice their academic skill and content. So we do expect our students to complete homework nightly. Next slide, please. And so I spoke a lot of our day and some fun facts, but I really want to highlight the fact that our students are successful. Once a student is accepted to Bayside High School, that means that they will graduate. And it's evident based on our 99% graduation rate over the last few years. We've had notable recognition. And as you can see, we're in good standing. We have strong academic programs. And most importantly, we continue to work to develop a welcoming community and environment. So again, extremely proud of my dedicated teachers and our community members, and most importantly, our students for their hard work and dedication. Next slide, please. With the idea of academic press, we understand that our goal and role is to ensure that our students are successful in their post-secondary experiences. And so we ensure that we have courses that support college alignment, college skills, and college content. Our advanced placement courses, college level examination or CLEP, and I'll speak a bit about that in detail in the next slide. Our dual enrolled courses and our industry certification and work-based learning opportunities ensure that our students are ready to be successful in college. We understand that academic persistence and resiliency needs to be developed at the high school level so that when your child or our children transition to their post-secondary opportunities, they have had the opportunity to practice those skills in our school. And so we're extremely proud to talk about how we prepare them for their post-secondary success through these particular points. Next slide. I spoke of the college level examination program. Last year, we started with a small pilot of CLEP. So CLEP is an assessment that allows students an opportunity to earn college credit. When a child, and adults, of course, you can take a CLEP assessment yourself. When you pass a CLEP assessment, it grants you college credits. And so we have worked to align our curriculum to the CLEP assessment so that our students at the end of the course can take the CLEP test and earn college credits. We are in partnership with Modern States, and through their freshman year for free, we are administering over 2,000 CLEP assessments, and you can do the math times that times 3, over 2,000 CLEP assessments at the end of this academic year. That means that our students have the opportunity to earn those college credits and to transfer them over to a CUNY or SUNY school. And so our goal is to always ensure that we are saving our families and our students time and money. That means that they can graduate earlier from college and or set their own pace in accordance to their need. Because as they earn college credits, they can their freshman year, they can again set their pace perhaps a little bit less so that they can leverage the credits that they transfer over. Next slide. I spoke of the college advanced placement courses that we offer. And so I just wanted to share the vast quantity. That means that your children or our students, whatever their interest is, they have an opportunity to take courses in alignment to that will grant them college level credit. And so this is an example of the various college or advanced placement courses that we offer. Next slide. A Bayside difference. So I stated that I would highlight some of our differences. We are a wall-to-wall CTE school, career technical education school. That means that our students are in a CTE program, and Melissa will share a little bit about each one of our 6 CTE programs, but we are the largest CTE school by enrollment. And every single student at Bayside High School is a CTE student. Next slide. A highlight for this academic year is that we have been able to fully fund our biodome. Our biodome will be positioned on the south portion of our campus, and it is a greenhouse with advanced capabilities of performing experiments associated to our environmental engineering program. We understand the importance of hands-on learning. And so through our biodome, our students will be able to engage in experiments in alignment to our CTE programs. And not only that, we are extremely proud to open our doors to our community members to engage in gardening or anything in alignment to our program. And again, it has been with the support of our elected officials. So we are just again in partnership with them, and fully appreciate the support of our elected officials, Councilwoman Vicky Palladino and our Queensborough president have contributed funding to our biodome, and so we are extremely proud of our partnership with our elected officials.
When is that expected to be completed, or when is
So-
the work gonna start?
Yeah, good question. So we are in the scope and design phase. And so what you see here is actually where we are in the process. It will go for bid. And then from there, we'll be able to have once the bid is conducted, we'll be able to give more information in regards to the projected date of completion. But I can't.
You don't know if it'll take a year, 2 years.
I know.
5 years.
Fingers crossed they will complete the bid by the end of this academic year.
Sorry to interrupt you, sorry.
No. Well, questions are welcome. Thank you. Next slide, please. So at this moment, AP Haratunian will speak about our 6 CTE programs, but I do want to highlight that we offer 3 admission or enrollment process for our schools. Our school, we have audition, screen, and ed op. That means that your child may enter our school through any one of those admission process. Go ahead.
Thank you, Principal Martinez. Good evening, CEC 25. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us. It's my honor to be here to talk a little bit about Bayside High School's 6 New York State approved CTE programs. As Principal Martinez has mentioned, Bayside High School features 6 different programs with various admissions methods. During the 8th grade year is when students their families to complete the include up to 12 choices. A large school like ours features 6 different programs, thus 6 different codes. We have digital art and design, which is one of our audition-based programs. Music, performance, and production, which is also an audition-based program. Environmental engineering and technology is one of our screened-based programs. Humanities and nonprofit management is our other screen program. Computer programming and web design is one of our educational option programs. And sports medicine and management is our other educational option program. One thing to mention about all of these New York State approved programs. Bayside High School has undergone a rigorous approval process and then various reapproval processes with the DOE and ultimately New York State to keep each of these programs current and up to industry standards. So as we go through each of the slides and I give you a little bit more detail about each of the programs, please keep that in mind that we're very thankful to our teachers and our industry advisory board members who continue to help us to grow and to develop and remain current. Digital art and design is aligned to the graphic design industry. Within this particular program, students are exposed to industry data and in design. One thing that's very important to mention is as part of this program, students are afforded ample opportunity to participate in work-based learning experiences, inclusive of internship opportunities. Can everybody hear me?
We lost a little bit, but we hear you now.
Yeah.
You hear me now? Okay. Better now? Okay. Students can participate in various work-based learning opportunities, inclusive of internships and workplace challenge initiatives, each of which are co-facilitated by industry partners. Music performance and production. For this particular program, students are being prepared for industries such as sound engineering and audio engineering, sound editing. They work in our state-of-the-art music studio right at school, which provides them ample opportunity for hands-on learning. One of Bayside's big mission statements is learning by doing. So in each of these programs, students are afforded ample opportunity to demonstrate with a hands-on capacity what they're learning in the classroom. Also, as part of this program, they're exposed to industry-based credentials, things like Pro Tools. Environmental engineering and technology is our STEM-based program. Due to recommendations by our industry partners, we have adopted various industry credential opportunities for our students. As an example, they recommended the students to study software such as AutoCAD. The kids have thus adopted it into the curriculum through teacher committee. They've been doing well and they've been applying it hands-on. As a matter of fact, the biodome renderings that Principal Martinez referenced earlier in this presentation originated by student work when the students were working in AutoCAD. Humanities and Nonprofit Management is our business-based program. This particular program is aligned to the Project Management Institute. So as part of the particular program, the students are prepared for industry credentials devised by the Project Management Institute. They're studying nonprofit management and project management methodology. Also here, we see a lot of internship opportunities and workplace challenge initiatives. Computer programming and web design is a means for students to be better prepared for careers in things like computer programming, web development, video game development, web design. As we saw in many of the other programs, one thing that's important to note here is we have a very active alumni network that really help to see the furthering of each of these CTE programs. So this one, as a matter of fact, we have a number of industry partners who are Bayside graduates now working for industries like Microsoft and Google. We're always interested to have them to join our advisory meetings to prepare live details in terms of the industry of what we can do to continue to help the kids grow. Sports medicine and management is aligned to industries such as athletic training, physical therapy, exercise science. And within this particular program, students have opportunity to acquire CPR and AED certification, which is wonderful as they go on for future internships, future opportunities of learning. It's a great resource on their resume. One thing to note, as previously mentioned, we have these 6 New York State approved programs, each of which is very indebted to the hard work of our faculty, our industry partners, our post-secondary partners, who continue to help us to improve our curriculum and keep it aligned to labor market trends. Each of these programs is aligned to a certain career cluster, and continuous revisiting of the labor market data in alignment to the recommendations of our industry partners always continues to help us to grow. Mentioned various industry and ample opportunities to continue to be prepared for college and for careers. Thank you very much to Principal Martinez.
Thank you, AP Haratunian. Am I also that we were able to understand the message, but I am going to say that I see that we are having some technical difficulty. Am I also buffering as well, or is it clear?
So you're coming clear. We just had a little bit of issue with AP Haratunian.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I will share that this information is also available on our website under prospective students. So if you're interested in more details about each program, you can access it on our Bayside High School website, and you can click where it says prospective student. Okay, I did want to share that. A Bayside difference, we work to ensure that our students graduate within 3 years. That grants them their senior year, again, to take those college accredited courses and to earn college credit and save money. Our students earn their required college credit, high school credits, the social studies, 8 English, 6 math, 6 science, so on and so forth, within 3 years at Bayside High School. Our students graduate on average with over 50 credits above and beyond what they need to graduate high school. Next slide, please. Next slide. Thank you. With the same academic press, we ensure that our students meet the Regents requirement within 2 years. And they are programmed for their required Regents during their first 2 years at high school. Within the 9th and 10th grade, they are expected to complete the 5 Regents exams that are outlined here: ELA, Global, US, Living Environment, or Earth Science, or Chemistry, or Physics. Well, not Earth Science, but Living Environment, Chemistry, or Physics, Algebra, Geometry, or Algebra 2, depending on their middle school Regents. We program them at the continued course and pace in which they entered our school. Next slide. Another Bayside difference, every student is an honor student. So our students are determined, honor students are determined based on their personal GPA. And so as our students earn their scores or their grades, we then indicate whether they're honor students or not, but it's in accordance to their level of achievement. All of our students are honor students. We do not have honors classes. If your child scores above or a 90 or above, they are deemed an honor student and it's coded as an honors class. We have a transparent grading policy that emphasizes content and effort, and we share that grading, our academic policy, with our community. We review it with our community, our students, our parents, and we discuss any shifts and changes year by year, and it's posted on our website as well. And so we work to be fully transparent in regards to what our students need to do in order to be successful through our uniform grading policy. Next slide, please. So as we set expectation for through our grading policy, we also have an academic policy. As I shared, academic excellence and academic press is a priority here at Bayside High School. That means that if our students are not in good standing, then they are coded as academic probation, and it limits their opportunity to participate in PSAL sports, intramural clubs, memberships in Arista, Archon, senior trips, senior prom, and so on and so forth. We provide supports for them to be academically successful and to move into good standing if they are struggling. However, we have a clear academic policy. If a student is failing a course and or does not take a Regents exam, they are deemed on academic probation. And if they are on track, they are in good standing. And again, we work to support our students to ensure that they have all that they need in order to be successful. Next slide, please. We know that through the loss and understanding that there was a breach in security of Pupil Path, we were no longer able to use Pupil Path. I can say that over the summer, we made the decision to onboard our parents, our community onto Jupiter Ed. So we began this academic year with Jupiter Ed from day one. We understand the importance of our parents having full, transparent information in regards to their child's attendance and their grades. We value parent partnership, and it allows our parents the ability to monitor their child's progress. And so since we began this academic year with this tool, I can say that we have seen that our families are truly appreciate the ability to monitor their child's progress through Jupiter Ed. And again, with the support of our PTA in purchasing Jupiter Ed for our families. And so we're able to communicate via the email and messaging feature And so we are a Jupiter Ed school and we leverage Google Classroom. We understand that there are still cases of COVID. We understand that there are still points where we need to use Google Classroom as a tool and a resource. So we integrate technology and learning through Google Classroom, and our students are able to access assignments and resources on Google Classroom. Next slide. Next slide. Melissa, next slide. Okay. Oh no, go back. Okay, so another Bayside difference, our whole child guidance. We have 16 guidance counselors. For 3,000 students, we understand that there is a need for connection and relationship. With our whole child guidance, our counselors remain with our students throughout their duration of their experience or their academic journey at Bayside. Be it 3 years or 4 years, our students remain with their school counselor throughout the entire duration of the 3 or 4 years. And this allows for more focused caseloads for our school counselors. They have lower caseloads on average compared to other schools. And our school counselors are assigned students in accordance to home language. We understand, as was shared by Michael Melgrove, that there's a wide range of languages that are spoken within every home. And so we support our families by assigning our school counselors through home language. Our school counselors also write the IEPs, and they also ensure that they monitor the 504 process for our students and for our families. They're able to collect the data for that particular student and to inform their families of the needs of their child in accordance to the IEP. And most importantly, they do the multi-year college planning. They are able to, throughout the duration of the 3 or 4 years, help our students build a portfolio to prepare them to apply for college and or financial aid. And so we're extremely proud of our whole child guidance model because it allows us to have within our large school, a small school setting with this relationship with our school counselors and our students. Next slide. So just to summarize it all, oh, I missed one part. Here we go. Our Jumpstart program. So we have a Jumpstart program. That means that as our students are accepted to Bayside High School, we immediately inform them that they have the opportunity prior to entering their 9th grade to join us for our summer Jumpstart program. In our summer Jumpstart program, they will have the opportunity to earn high school credits during their summer. So our incoming class of September 2023, we've already invited our families to enroll their child for our Jumpstart program. And we are anticipating seeing all of our freshman students, and we welcome all. If all of our incoming freshmen want to attend our Jumpstart program, we welcome them. We understand the value of integrating them within our community early on so that they can have an experience during the summer and reach a level of comfort within our school building. So September 2023, their first day of school, they've already had an opportunity to learn the building and to formulate relationships with their peers. So we're super excited that we get to offer our Jumpstart program for our students, again, because it accelerates them towards a 3.5 or 4 year graduation rate. And I do want to say this, that the graduation pace and date is set by the family. We asked parents to conference with the school counselor to determine if they want their child to graduate within 3.5 or 4 years of high school. So I want to emphasize that is a family decision. Next time. So the Bayside difference, I spoke about the whole child guidance. That means that our school counselors have smaller caseloads so that they can develop more intimate relationships with our families and build a sense of community. Our student engagement team, our teams, our clubs continue to grow and expand to meet the varied interests of our students and our community. Our course accreditation through our CLEP program, AP, dual enrolled, continues to grow and expand. offering our families an opportunity for their children to earn credits and to save money and to progress to college at a rapid rate. We have large ICT program, a dual licensure incentive program. We have multilingual, not bilingual program. I do want to say that. Our 6 wonderful CTE programs, a wide range of world languages, Korean, Japanese, Spanish, French. I didn't mention it, but I am mentioning it now, that we do have a wide range of world languages. We have a commitment to instructional technology, and most importantly, a vibrant, active, empowered PTA. I'm in consistent communication with our PTA president, Dr. Queen. They work to ensure that the parent voice is heard, and most importantly, I ensure that it's valued. I have several parent chat and choose where I've opened my door to speak to parents and hear what they have to say in regards to feedback, understanding that we are always working towards continuous improvement. Next slide. So I wanted to share a testimonial of one of our students, and we will play it just in the interest of time. I want to say it's about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Okay.
Hi, my name is Anson Shane, and I was part of the graduating class of 2020 at Base High School.
Okay, Melissa, I think you're having some time.
And currently, I'm a junior majoring in exercise science at SUNY Cortland. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about the college credit opportunity that I earned.
It's breaking up.
Okay, it is breaking up and we apologize. Anson actually recorded this for us yesterday because he is in the process of taking his finals. Melissa, you can, it's okay, you can pause it. But I will say this, that Anson has participated in many of these events as a Bayside ambassador. Many of our ambassadors they're in the process of taking college finals, so they were unable to attend, but I can tell you that they can highlight their experience at Bayside High School and the opportunity that we have afforded them in earning college credits and how they've been able to transfer over 30 credits to their post-secondary institutions. And so, you know, extremely proud of the work we do and really always highlighting our student achievement as the center of our success, but most importantly, the hard work of our families and our community members that continue to support Bayside High School. And so thank you for your time this evening, and I welcome any questions at this point.
Okay, so I'm not sure if there are any questions from CEC members or any questions in the chat. I can't see the chat copy. Is there anything there? Yes, I have. Wendy has a question.
Yes.
What are 504 processes?
What, can you repeat the question?
You had on one of your slides, 504 processes.
Oh, okay. Section 504 is a accommodation that is afforded to a student that may need support through the 504. It can be a health-related concern and or an academic. So a 504 may be instituted for a student that has, let's say they break their arm and they need an accommodation to write. That is something that you can institute in the moment to provide them the immediate support they need to be successful. Or it could be an academic need. Through a Section 504, you can grant additional time for students to take assessment or whatever the 504 team deems necessary to support that child's success. That's a 504.
Understood. Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Yes, I have a few questions, if I may.
Mr. Chow.
Hello, Ms. Martinez.
Hello.
Graduating 99% of your students is tremendous. I just have a few questions for you. Number one, what percent of your students receive the advanced region diploma when they graduate? Number two, what percent of your graduate go to college? Number three, you mentioned that some students are able to transfer 30 credits to college. Does that mean they graduate from college in 3 years? If my questions are too loaded, I can repeat them. Thank you.
I think we got 3 questions. Did you get them?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm. So I will pivot back to the advanced region diploma question, but I will say our academic persistence rate for our for the college readiness. So we have the 4-year index. 87% is the college response in terms of the percentage of students that transition on. In terms of whether or not families take advantage of the opportunity for their child to graduate early, that is determined based on their individual level and at the post-secondary institution decision process, right? So I don't have any data, I don't have a data point specific to that. Whether or not our students take their 30 credits to graduate early, that is a family decision. But I can tell you our students ambassadors have stated that yes, they do graduate early based on the amount of credits that they're able to transfer over. And for example, Anson is an example of that particular situation. But in terms of a hard data point, I don't have a number for you, but I can say that many of our students do take advantage of the credits that they are provided and are able to graduate early. Some may choose, instead of taking a max of 16 credits in a CUNY or SUNY, they may choose to just take 12 and just slow their pace through their 4 years of college. So that also is a opportunity. So it's not just a matter of graduating early. You can just reduce the quantity of credits that you take during your years at college. So it gives them that flexibility.
Okay, so are you saying to me you don't know the number? Do you know the number from June 2019 graduating class, the percent of advanced region diploma? Because college readiness means that you got an 80 or higher on the algebra regions. Mm-hmm. And advanced region diploma means you took algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. They're two different students.
Yeah. So
in terms of college.
Yeah.
In other words, a student who's college ready by getting an 80 on the algebra regions will not be able to score over 600 on the SAT math part. Whereas the student who gets a 75 on the algebra 2 trig regions, they should be able to score 600 or 650.
Yes. And so what I will say with that is that some of the data, and this is where the waivers have somewhat affected the information. And so we are in the process of, for example, what you spoke of, some of our students have Algebra 1 waivers. And so we are now giving our students the opportunity to take the Algebra 1 regions, and or if they are scheduled for the geometry or Algebra 2 regions, take advantage of that. But the waivers have also limited our ability to assess some of that information.
Okay, I asked you about June 2019. This is before the pandemic. Were you principal then or no? Or Mike Appy was principal?
Oh, Mike Appy was principal, yes.
Okay, so you may not know. Okay, thank you.
But I can definitely follow up with that data point because I want to be able to respond to that. So I will follow up with June 2019, okay?
Yep, thank you very much.
That would be appreciated, thank you. Are there any other questions from the CEC members or the public? So there's one question I'm reading. Is there an IT admin in the course?
Can you repeat that question? I'm so sorry, I can't hear you.
Sure. I'm gonna have Carly read it from the chat.
Is there an IT admin in the course?
Is there an IT admin?
Yeah.
Guys, we can't hear you guys at all.
Oh, I was muted. The question is, and I'm not sure if I understand it.
Is that better?
Is coming from Linroy. It states, is there an IT admin in the course?
In which course? We can't see the question, but an IT admin. So we do have a technology team that supports all of our technology needs. If there's a particular, and we have 12 administrators that work to support all of our departments and each CTE program. When you ask, is there an IT admin for the course? I'm unsure. Can you clarify which course you're specifying? You're discussing?
Can you?
It's like, so it's like in the course, is there like a IT admin
Which course?
like in the Bayside course for the technology?
We have a IT specialist team. We have several IT specialists.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments for Principal Martinez? So Principal Martinez and AP Harutunian, we thank you for joining us this evening. Being part of the Community Education Council, I know we focus on the early school years through the end of middle school, but it's nice to see that and parents in our district are really, their main goal is to see the success of their children. So it's nice to see that it carries forward, and it also is an item that you look at the high school level. And I just hope that parents in our district understand there are options, and Bayside High School is an option. It's a good option. So I want to thank you for coming this evening. I congratulate you, and we look forward to hearing about the success of your students. Thank you, Principal Martinez.
Thank you for having us this evening. And again, I shared that our information's on our website, so feel free to visit. And if you have any other questions, you can email prospectivestudent@baysidehighschool.org. And so thanking the CEC 25 this evening for allowing us to present. And just again, we welcome any questions that you have after this. You can email us at prospectivestudent@baysidehighschool.org.
Wonderful. And if we get any questions, we'll direct them to you as well. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I'm not sure if President Mulgrew is here, but I also want to thank him for his support of the teacher centers in District 25. I know they've been very successful, and I want the audience here to understand we're all partners in this education of our children, and we do support a rigorous education, and we as parents are on top of our children, especially in this district. So it's nice to see that it carries forward, and it's nice to see that we have the support of our the UFT, and we have the support of the high schools and the administrators, and of course our district. So now I'm going to present to you our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Michael D'Antona.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. DiBenedetto and City and Community Education Council members, guests, and folks that are behind me. Please excuse my back. So I have a few things that I'm going to share on behalf of Superintendent Domingo this evening. So I'm just going to share my screen so that you guys have it in front of you as well. So one of the places that we do want to start, while it has passed just a couple of days ago, like April, May brings several days and in a week for our teachers, which I'll mention in a moment, to honor and celebrate those that are supporting our schools every day. And we would like to send our greatest of appreciation to our building leaders across District 25 for all their ongoing hard work and dedication to our kids, our families, and our communities. The countless hours that they put in, and the impact that it has on themselves, just physically, mentally, sometimes really can go unnoticed. But I want to make sure that on behalf of Superintendent Domingo, myself, and the District 25 team, that we acknowledge our principals for all that they do on behalf of the district and our schools and the community.
Absolutely, and CEC joins on that. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Joe. We also want to say, like our principals, next week is Teacher Appreciation Week from May 8th through the 12th. Like our building leaders, May brings us an opportunity to pause and express gratitude to all teachers, especially those that we're fortunate enough to work with in District 25. We, like our principals, we appreciate all that you do on behalf of your students and school community. Special opportunity for our community members, our students, our parents. The Department of Education has a tool. It's called DOE All Stars, which Lewis is going to put into the chat. where you can send a note of gratitude to recognize teachers that you have experiences with. So our parents, staff, students have an opportunity to connect with their teachers in that way, just to send a nice little thank you or an offer of gratitude for the teachers that are working so hard for you every single day. So from Superintendent Domingo, myself, and our team, we also like to extend that appreciation and gratitude to all of our teachers for all the work that they do for our kids and community. And I do encourage you to connect with that DOE All-Stars tool. There is a little notice there in terms of DOE digital citizenship and social media guidelines, just to remind everyone of posting appropriate things online should you choose to. So just a small reminder of that for those of you that do go onto that tool. But I encourage you to do so. It's always nice to get a small little message of thanks and a heartwarming note for a teacher goes a long, long way. So I encourage you to please do so. This month also allows us to celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This month serves as a time to celebrate the culture, history, and achievements of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in New York City, District 25, and across the country. Please look out for the May newsletter and our District 25 social media accounts, as we'll continue to celebrate Asian American Pacific Islander Month throughout this month. And our edition for May will be out in early June, so that you have an opportunity to look and see the things that are happening in our buildings to celebrate this month. So I encourage you to please look out for that and connect with your building leaders and parent coordinators and teachers to get in on those celebrations in our schools. Enrollment updates. This is just an important reminder. Middle school offers are now available. To access your offer, please go to myschools.nyc. Please connect with your school counselor, or you can certainly connect with the Family Welcome Center. Summarizing, just a reminder, application portal is closed. Placement information will be sent to families the week of May 12th, so that is coming very soon. If additional seats become available, they'll be posted on the Department of Education website. Louis, if you wouldn't mind, just put that into the chat as well, so that families have an opportunity to just click on it should they choose. But that is coming soon, so please be on the lookout for any placement notification for your child. Upcoming holidays and non-attendance days for our kids: Memorial Day, Monday, May 29th, schools are closed. Thursday, June 8th is Anniversary Day. So Chancellor's Conference Day, there's no students in attendance. Friday, June 9th is the Clerical Day, also a day for non-attendance for our students. And then Monday, June 19th is Juneteenth, so schools will be closed on that day. Spring state testing reminders. Now we have just concluded day 2 of the math assessment. English language arts exam was a few weeks ago. There are some schools that will still be testing children that may have been absent, and computer-based testing will continue through May 9th. So we have gone through that, and I do thank our building leaders, teachers, students, and families for engaging in this year's state tests in both of those content areas. The NICESLAT assessment has also started for our English language learners. That window stretches from April 17th to May 26th for the speaking portion. And just so that everyone knows, there are 4 parts to the NICESLAT. It's speaking, reading, listening, reading, and writing. So our English language learners are tested in all 4 of those domains. The reading, writing, and listening is conducted between May 15th and the 26th. Grade 8 science test, there are 2 portions to this as well. There's a performance section, which is administered between May 23rd and June 2nd, and there is a written portion on June 5th. For our middle schoolers that will be completing Regents assessments, that window is from June 14th through the 22nd. Periodic assessment window, this is also something that is in process. This has started, and the window will stretch from May 1st to June 7th. So our children in grades kindergarten through 2 will be administered the Acadians reading assessment. Our children in grades 3 to 8 will be administered the iReady in reading. For mathematics, it's the iReady across grades K through 8. And our 8th graders that are slated to take the Regents exam will be taking the Algebra 1 Math Growth Assessment during this assessment window. So it is really important that our kids and our families are still connected with this, although we just completed the state assessment. These are also important pieces of information for us at the school level because it allows us to know how all the work that we put in, how much growth that we've been able to make as the year has gone on. So I encourage you guys to really make sure that you're putting your best foot forward there as well. District Debate League, we do want to celebrate our school. Congratulations to IS 25 Sharks debate team for placing first in District 25 during the virtual tournament. So proud of our middle school students for all of the work that they put in preparation, and obviously for all of our judges who gave up their time to support this really, really great day. We're so excited that we will have a in-person session championship in May, hosted by 185 and sponsored by Councilmember Palladino and Council Speaker Adrian Adams. Stay tuned for pictures and results from the championship in next month's newsletter. So we're excited about that. Congratulations to our PS 184 and PS 209 students for being regional contest winners in the New York statewide virtual elementary mathematics tournament. So our children were able to participate in a tournament in 24 game, which is designed to support fact fluency, automaticity, problem solving, fluency, and critical math skills. So we're really excited that our kids were able to participate. We're looking forward to the in-person statewide championship event, which is on Saturday, May 20th at the University of Albany. So please reach out to your instructional math lead in our district, Beth Eaton, for any information that you're looking for about First in Math, or discuss how you can bring 24 game to your school. So we're really excited for our students and for our schools participating. This is also super exciting. Our schools were given an opportunity to engage in work with Minecraft. It's a STEM-based type of activity, and I'm sure many of you are aware of Minecraft. Either you have heard about it or you've seen your kids playing it at some point. But New York City has opened up a challenge. It's called Battle of the Boroughs. And we are fortunate that we have 2 of our schools that have participated in this competition that have been selected for the borough of Queens. So we congratulate PS 24 and PS 200 for having top submissions for the 2023 Minecraft Battle. Student teams will compete live against other top borough teams. The Queens team that wins will be invited to the citywide championship. The goal of this was to create a sustainable New York City using the Minecraft software. So the kids did a really, really amazing job, and I'd like to thank Kerry McGarvey and Danielle O'Connor from both of our schools from PS 24 and 200 for leading our kids in this work. And that concludes the superintendent's report tonight. And should anyone have any questions, I'd be happy to answer anything that you may have.
Do any council members have questions for Dr. Michael Dentona, the district office? Are there any questions in the chat? Okay. So,
thank you, Dr. Dentona. Always a pleasure to work with your office, and it's always nice to see that you guys are really, hands-on and doing a lot for our district and recognizing the wonderful accomplishments. So we were scheduled to have, so for those of you who know or don't know, we have a vacancy on our CEC, but we have another month after this meeting. We had somebody that was supposed to appear for an interview this evening, but I don't believe that candidate is here. Can you correct me? Probably? Okay. So for those of you who don't know, we have CEC elections, right? So now is the time. There is only 1 week left to make your voice heard and cast your vote in this year's Education Council election. You will need to sign into your NYC Schools account, NYXA, in order to vote. If you do not have an account but still want to vote, it's not too late. Sign up now for your NYC Schools account at schoolsaccount.nyc If you need help signing up for NICSA, your parent coordinator will guide you through the process. To learn more about who is running for seats on your district and citywide councils, review the candidate profiles. Voting closes on Tuesday, May 9th, so don't wait. Sign into NICSA and vote today. We as a council have one more meeting. We usually celebrate our last meeting as an award ceremony. We honor the CEC honors students and staff from elementary and middle schools, grades pre-K to 8, who have demonstrated leadership and have gone above and beyond within and outside the school community. How does your school participate? Each school is asked to select 3 students and 1 staff member to be honored at the ceremony. Schools must submit their nominees by Friday, May 19th, 3 p.m. This is an in-person event, and we invite you to join us on Tuesday, June 6th at 7 p.m. at the IS-25 Adrian Block location located at 34-65 192nd Street in Flushing. We will also have a virtual live stream, and invitation letters with the award recipients will be sent out right after the nominations are submitted. Before we move on to our public speaking time, I have a number of members who are present here who would like to speak. I just ask the other council members if there's any other item of new business that we need to discuss before moving on to our public speaking time. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the first speaker who signed on to our list, Mr. Joseph Kessler.
Thank you, Joe. Hi, everyone. I just want to piggyback on what Dr. Mike mentioned about Principal and Teacher Appreciation Day and Week. I think in District 25 and throughout the entire city, we celebrate both as the UFT, parents, administrators, behind the scene personnel. Every day is Principal and Teacher Appreciation and all the different chapters that go on inside a school, and the clerical staff, especially here at Linden for District 25. You do a remarkable job. It was nice to hear from President Mulgrew. It's the first time I've heard him in a long time since I've retired. And it's good to get a little insight on the budget because it's first brand new news, you know, and the charter piece continues to be in the back of our minds because I am working with Teacher Center in other districts, and we're trying, you know, to make schools better and improve education each and every day. And, you know, we have that charter fear that they want to come into the schools and take up space. Being that is probably the last time, I know we always look forward to the exciting award ceremony in June, which our children get honored and teachers get recognized. But I want to say another year has just flown by. And 3 years ago, it just like is a blur in how we ended before COVID. But our district continues to move forward with extraordinary things led by Superintendent Domingo and Dr. D'Antona. But our CEC is, I've been to meetings, I've seen it across the city, and it is the most organized, collegial, you know, togetherness group. Your dedication and commitment each and every day. It's not just here. I know you have meetings behind the scenes and things like that to make our schools better, because we keep hearing the word partnership, and it is. No one should be excluded, and the parents are a very big piece of this. And I want to thank everybody on CEC. I've been here a long time. When it was back to school boards, and we were a little nervous here at 25, but we're really in good hands. And I want to thank you, even though like I'm still in the loop, you still have the blood going. And I want to thank everybody for all the work. And again, the administrative office here that work for Superintendent Domingo do a remarkable job. in the schools. And I'm just thankful again that you have this relationship. And I would just wish everybody, since I'm not speaking, a really wonderful summer. It's just hard to believe the school year has gone by, and we're back. We're back again, and you know, District 25 is going to continue to move forward. And we, as Mulgrew said, we really lead the way. You know, he has to represent all the districts, but he knows 25 is in really, really good hands. So thank you, Joe, for your leadership.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know that you're retired, but you still come back, and we're very impressed. Very impressed. So thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure to see you. It's also a pleasure to see the other speakers that are here this evening. So I'm going to, I know that Venus is here, Venus Ketchum, and I have Joanna Panagiotis, right? So let's start with Venus.
How am I gonna follow up with that? Good, I'll sit. Hi, good evening. I love that he said, what is it? Dr. Mike. Oh, I like the nickname for you. You know, I have this love for Dr. Mike. And the reason why I love Dr. Mike is for his transparency when presenting the data. That's how I originally fell in love with him as an educator. My name is Venus Ketchum. I'm a community and parent leader throughout the city, specifically in Queens. It wasn't until years later that I realized that this was my home district. I was born and raised right across the street from PS 154. My mother moved there when she was 6 years old, and my grandpa bought that home, I think, for $15,000. So I lived there until the age of 25. I went to PS 154. I went to junior high school 168. That's now QSI. But I come here, as always, I started coming here in October of 2013 because of a flyer that I saw at my job at the high school where I worked in District 26. It was a flyer for your parent conferences. I hope you bring those back now that it's 2023 and we're in person. I remember going to IS 25 and seeing that extraordinary library, and I saw a picture in my Google Photos of me with Carmen Farina in that library. So again, I speak to encourage other parents to sign that speaker sheet, sign your name in the chat to speak. We have many different languages in this district, and we want to hear all of them. And I'm also doing my philanthropic parent leadership training tour. So you're the first district that I'm speaking this to, which is that I want all of us, not me, but to retrain our councils in what are we discussing at CEC. I want to make sure that we're discussing schools, that every council member discusses the specific schools that they're a liaison to, because something that Michael Mulgrew spoke about the budget and cutting the budget. If we're not discussing what our schools need, it looks like we don't need anything or that we have too much. So even though all of our schools are great and we love to highlight the great things that are happening, if you need a new water fountain, if you need a reading coach, if you need funding to pay for iReady for parents to use at home, we have to be discussing these things on record in these meetings. Otherwise, to the mayor and the chancellor, it looks like we're wasting funds. So I know it's kind of like a balancing of, we don't want to highlight the negative, but each one of our schools in our district have needs. We want to invite parents to discuss those needs. For example, my son and other children have IEPs, and schools need social workers, schools need more guidance counselors. It was great to hear the presentation about Bayside, but most schools are not like that, where you have that one-on-one experience. Usually, guidance counselors are burnt out because they're serving 600 students. And we're having issues with translation and making sure that every language is able to be translated kind of on the spot, right? When a parent calls with a concern, do we have a translator that speaks Urdu immediately? A lot of times they pull on the parent. So again, I speak at these meetings to encourage other parents to speak up about your school, the lows and the grows, as well as council members, every council member. I'm making this charge to every council member across the city. We have to get back to discussing schools specifically. And when the chancellor comes to meet with us, we have to ask about the specific schools in your district. I attended SLT at PS 154, which is my elementary school, and I love to hear about HMH and interreading, but I also love to hear that somebody who was in training with me for Great Leaps, when I went to training for my job in District 30, she's still using that program at her school. That's something that we need to highlight. How is that working in 154? How is that helping the ELA score? And what other schools need in addition to HMH? HMH is cute, but every district is using that now. We want to hear specifics about unique programming for each of the schools in 25 so that we can ensure that all the children are successful. So that's it.
Thank you, Venus, and I also appreciate, what you spoke about, because our CEC is really hands-on, and there's a lot of behind the scenes that maybe you don't realize, but we have a
I
lot
know
of
you're doing the work,
meetings
so I want to.
with our school leaders. We've had our capital improvement, meeting. It's funny that you say that. I say that because we got a response from the, from SCA regarding the capital improvements. And most of the responses on the request from the schools, we submitted all of our requests, although they wanted the top 5. And most of the responses were under review by School Construction Authority or under review by Division of Facilities or under review of School Safety and Youth Development. So we will follow up with that. I mean, you have my word on that, although our term is going to finish in June. I hope that the successor CEC members will follow up on that and that it's not over. So I cannot run for election right now because my children have graduated out. I have my application in for borough appointed representative, and then we have to wait and see. So I'm going to move on to the next speaker, and it's Joanna Panagitopoulos.
I'm impressed, Joe. Good evening, esteemed families, administrators, Deputy Superintendent Dr. Mike, CEC members, CEC President Joseph DiBenedetto, colleagues, because there are some colleagues online. I saw some of the names there. And of course, students that are online and also students that are present here today. Thank you for being here. My name is Joanna Panagitopoulos, and I am an educator and proud parent here in District 25. I'm a graduate of PS20, IS-237, John Brown High School, and eventually I stayed local and I went to Queens College for both my undergrad and grad studies, so I have never left Flushing. My children are also a product of District 25 schools. Lambros graduated from Bell Academy, he's here next to me. Christiana and Mary Lisa attend Bell Academy, wonderful school. I am here tonight to highlight my amazing school in District 25, and that is PS242, which is an early childhood school that serves grades K to 3. We are a wonderful, wonderful place to be. So parents, families, everyone online and present, if you're looking for a school, PS242 is the school for you. Our mission at PS242 is to provide a safe, nurturing, and engaging learning environment. We achieve high academic and social emotional outcomes through our strong family partnerships with families and our community, of course. We have an open door policy, host events throughout the year for families that they are able to come into the school and see the wonderful happenings that happen every single day at PS242. Emphasis is placed on meeting individual needs for our students through multiple pathways and ensuring that our children feel valued, supported, and loved. So families, again, if you're looking for a place to send your children, 242 is the place to go. I know that there are some colleagues online that would like to speak also, if that's okay with you.
If they raise their hand or if they put their name on the chat, we will give them the opportunity.
Okay, thank you.
We'll just limit it to 2 minutes per speaker.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yes, Ruben, hold on.
So Joanna, it's nice to see that, the educators in our district are very enthusiastic and proud of the schools they come from and the programs, and that's an honor for us to see that this evening. So thank you for your comments, and if there's anyone else that is going to comment, I'm gonna start with Diana Rubin.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Thank you so much for having me here tonight. It is an honor to talk about PS242 with all of you. I am the third grade teacher at PS 242. I have been there for about 14 years, and I am also a model teacher in the building, which means that I work very closely with the staff, a very dedicated staff who is very dedicated to student success and also to students having a great time in school. A part of our vision that Joanna mentioned was that we have great partnerships with families and communities, and we also are grounded in a vision of love and a safe environment. And by working with teachers, I am able to see that every day through coaching, through lab cycles, through intervisitation teams where teachers actually visit each other's classrooms and really, really try to evolve best practices for our kids. We are happy to announce that we are a Blue Ribbon nominated school, and that is because of our dedication to our students and the academic excellence that we have achieved. So if you are looking for a school for your child, please come check out PS 242. We would be happy to see you, welcome you through our open doors. Thank you so much for letting me share.
Thank you. Ms. Rubin? You want to share what the address of the school is?
Yes, please. Lucky for all of you, it is right across the street from the district offices. We are located 29-66, 137th Street, Flushing, New York, 11354. We have amazing administrators. I just want to highlight our administrators and our teachers. We are really a family. And that's what I really can say about our school is that we are a family. A lot of us started together when the school opened in 2001. I was the second person hired after my colleague Ellen Menares. And I will retire at 242 because it's just an amazing place to be. Thank you.
Great. Always a pleasure to hear that. Are there any other speakers on the chat list here? Okay. So again, congratulations and thank you for joining us this evening. I'm not sure if we had any other item of new business before calling this calendar meeting to a close. We do have some items to discuss during our business meeting regarding our award ceremony, but if there's nothing else to discuss, then I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone. So we look forward for you to come to our June award ceremony held on Tuesday, June 6th at IS 25 in Flushing. We look forward to seeing you there, and we look forward to honoring the students and the staff that day. Okay, so if that's it, we're going to call this meeting to an end, and we'll start the business meeting in about 3 minutes. So are we ready to start the business meeting?
Yeah, 1 second.
Hey, Carly, I'm on now.
Okay.
Hi, Eden, good to see you.
Hi, Joe. Sorry I'm late.
I know we had some discussion regarding this candidate, but the candidate never showed up, so I think we're good with not, so we're starting our business meeting now? Okay, so let me call this, do we have to do a roll call? Okay. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. Just give me a second. So let's have the roll call for the business meeting and then we get started.
Joseph Di Benedetto. Wing Yu. Anne-Marie Knable.
Present.
Joseph Chow.
Present.
Sung Young Lee. Shirley. Michelle Frederick. Michelle was there. I just was. Sana Tayeb.
Present.
Eden Rubenstein.
Present.
Yeah.
Do we have quorum present? Okay. So a couple of things, business items, right? So she's here. Michelle's here. I think she was muted. Couple of items. We got one last meeting on Tuesday, June 6th, right? And that's the award ceremony. So we need to talk about logistics for the ceremony. I know that the nominations we have until May 9th for them to come in.
19th.
Is is it May 9th? Oh, May 19th, right? Carly's already prepared. She's got the certificates. We've got the, what we're awarding to our recipients.
So you're missing the Joe Kessler Award?
We
Who's
need-
taking what school and agree to meet after to discuss the superintendent evaluation?
Yes, so what we usually do in our last meeting, we do the superintendent evaluations. I don't know, sometimes the award ceremony gets kind of long. The way we did it in the past is we circulated it, I think via email, and then we just signed off on it at the last meeting, if I remember correct. So we can do it the same if you guys are okay with that, unless you want to do it differently, unless you want to have a special meeting for that. Are we okay without having a special, I don't know what's on the chat.
Nothing. I don't think we'll see. Michelle, that's old.
Okay, so if you guys are okay with it, then I will, with Carly, I'll start working on the superintendent evaluations, and then we'll circulate it.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
That's how we did it last year. But last year, I think we didn't meet in person. I recall.
No, we did it, it was still online, but it was the same concept. It was already done. We had already sent it
Okay.
and we just
So
voted
we'll
on
do
it.
it that way this year unless anyone has an objection to that. Okay, so now when it comes, so we need to vote on the Joe Kessler Award. I think, with all due respect, I think we have just one nominee. I'd rather not be involved there. What do we have on that? Do you have the name?
Stein? No, yeah, I was right.
So I think we only had one, so I take recommendations from you guys, because we really would need to vote on who the recipient of the Joe Kessler Award is. We asked a recommendation from the district office, and I think we got a nomination for Diana Stein. I think we knew about her qualifications. I appreciate that you nominated me. I don't like to.
Still.
I don't feel comfortable discussing myself. And I don't know if the Joe Kessler Award is appropriate or not, and I don't want to do anything. I think we did. We had another nomination.
Do you want to make a
We may
breakout
have to
room?
go into special session. What is it?
Yeah, I can make a breakout room.
We may have to do a
Executive session.
breakout room.
Joe, I just want to point out that Diana Stein is going to be having a baby.
Oh,
And she's due like at the beginning of June.
Oh, okay, so
Not that matters, but she might not be if she's the candidate, she might not be there.
Okay, so that's something we have to consider.
Yeah, just putting that out there. Not that it should disqualify her. She's wonderful. So
We will talk about it in the breakout room, but before we break out, I wanted to talk about other logistics with the meeting, right? So we have to discuss how it happens, right? We have all the schools in our district that have representatives that come, and we as a council have to figure out how we're going to name the recipients, who's gonna announce them. I mean, I usually do like an introduction and I thank the elected officials for coming. I'm not sure if the elected officials are coming, but I will follow up on that. And then it comes to giving out the rewards. So what we've done in the past, we've had different council members read out the names. Is anyone willing to do that? Because if we get all the volunteers who want to do that, then we can break it down by school. Are there any volunteers to read names? So either
I can.
You can, Wing can. Don't we do it that way? No, we, the names, we call the names. Usually, I remember doing it.
this is how you do it. It's you
How
and Danielle.
how many names do we have
What
altogether?
happens is everyone.
So we
has
have
their own
34
slot.
schools and three to four people per school.
Am I, just, if
Go
I'm wrong,
ahead.
I'm wrong. But I swore it was you guys were on the stage and each one of you had a specific amount of certificates. You gave out the certificates while you and Danielle were switching off on the names.
So we did
Am I
that
right?
one time, and on other times, because I know Anne Marie and I did it when I wasn't president. Yeah,
Definitely on stage.
Danielle is on the stage, but Danielle
She
Domingo
calls
does
out-
not call the names. The
She
CEC
does the staff,
calls out the names.
I
Right.
believe,
So if,
if I'm not mistaken. I know she does somebody's.
so the way we've done it in the past, Carly, I mean, we can have, so how many volunteers on the council would like to read out the names? We have Wing, we have Eden,
Anne Marie too.
Anne Marie. Anne Marie, you're coming in person on June? I think I saw that, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Eden, will you be here in person?
Yes, I'm gonna come in person.
Perfect, and when you'll be here in person, right? Yes. Okay, are there any other
Yeah,
volunteers?
I will. I'll read the names and I'll be in person.
Okay, Joe, so you'll be here, anybody else? Okay, so we have, so it's June sixth, Tuesday, it's on a Tuesday, and the reason why we did it on Tuesday, I think June seventh is a holiday, or it's the day before. No, I think it's the day before, what's the?
No, 5, 6, 7 is school days.
June 8th is a no school day, I believe.
8 and 9 is.
Right, so I think we didn't want to do it the night before. Something was going on that we voted on having our meeting on the Tuesday that month. So, okay, so we have 4 volunteers.
Wing you, Joseph, you.
Chancellor's Day on the Thursday and then it's
Yeah, right?
Right, I think there's no school, and we didn't want to obligate people to come. There's no school the Thursday or Friday after the Wednesday meeting.
So you got Wendy, Joe, Joseph Chow, Anne Marie, and Eden.
So we're 5. So maybe we can break down, does anyone have a preference for which school? I don't care.
Doesn't matter. I'm open.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so why don't we break it down by school?
Was it 36 schools?
There's 34, 35 schools. There's 3 kids per school. How many volunteers do we have? 5. So we break it down. We read,
7 schools.
Michelle's also saying she's gonna be there, Joe, so.
Okay, so Michelle, so it's good. So if you guys, okay, I'll have Carly assign somebody to each school, and you'll read, 4 or 5 schools each, or 3 or 4 schools each. So that's like 9 or 10 names. What you'll do is the way it's gonna happen is we're gonna be on a stage, all of us. The person that reads the names of the recipients will be at the mic. The other people will be on stage, and you can shake the hands of the recipients, and we'll just have them come up on an orderly fashion. I think that's how we did it last time, right? Okay, so that's pretty easy. And then we do, we'll have like a.
Esther and some of the parents are gonna line up with the kids in the library.
So we're gonna have some help to line up the kids and bring them up. So I think in the past, there was some confusion over who showed up or who didn't show up, and we got a little bit caught up with the names in the recipient. Maybe we could have them get the certificates at the end, rather than be walking up.
It's usually after the kids show up late, they wind up, and if their school was missed, they wind up becoming towards the end. So
Right, so
just kind of
sometimes.
a system to monitor when kids are coming in late, maybe someone could be.
Yeah, we need help to line up the
In the back,
kids
they come in
and
so that-
monitor that, right?
Joseph Chow, the thing is, the schools
Can
have
you
to
hear
be,
Carly?
they have to be in order. That's the problem with that request.
What's his request?
Can you assign me to 79, 185, and 194? But then it's like, you have to decide that you guys have to take a cluster of.
So the way we usually do, we do it by cluster of school. I don't know how you line up the schools, Carly, so.
I line up the schools.
From 0 from 20 all the way.
They're sorted by DBN.
Correct.
Right, so.
They're not sorted by grade band.
Got it. So if we do it that way, then it's just gonna be the first 4 schools. Yeah, exactly. I think it'd just be easier.
Thank you.
Are you okay with that, Joe?
So it's like, then if you want it like that. Yeah, that's kind of impossible.
Wait, I didn't quite hear what you said. Sorted by DBN?
Correct.
Okay, fine. I was going to ask for 79, 190, 185, and 194. but that's okay.
If you.
I'll go with the
know
flow, it's okay.
Those students, I mean, of course, you're gonna be on stage and you wanna give an extra handshake or a high five, then you're always welcome to do that. You okay with that?
I'm okay.
Maybe we can put, if you want, we can, I don't know what schools you wanted to do, but maybe
So,
we
like,
could
if
put you
you
in
want-
that group. I mean, the one that has more kids in that DBN, right? Is everyone else okay with it? Okay. So we usually, I don't know, Carly, do we have money to like have cookies there or something? What about flowers for the principal? Okay. Carly, you should reach out to the elected officials. Sometimes they like to come and they have their own award, right?
I'm still waiting.
I'm
on a
not
couple-
sure.
I'm still waiting on a couple of schools,
Okay.
so,
I don't know, is Senator Lou's office here?
the Susan came out.
So I spoke to Sujan on Monday and she showed interest about
Okay.
maybe the senator wanted to come to that meeting next week briefly. So we kind of stress it to if the elected officials come, we try to limit it to 2 minutes. I know I'm like very easy going at these meetings with the timing, but I think we need to limit it because it gets pretty long. Okay. Anything else to discuss before we break out into that breakout room? Anyone else here have any questions, concerns, comments?
Joe, are we doing it at a specific school? Just, I don't know if we decided that.
So
IS
what
25.
Carly's gonna do, we're doing it at IS 25. I don't, did you not, were you not here maybe?
No, I think I just forgot which school it was, but that's fine. Thank you.
So it's scheduled to start at 7 o'clock, right, Carly?
Yeah.
So we'd ask that you be
Perfect.
there by 6:30 at least, right, Carly?
Yeah.
And then.
Okay,
we,
thank you.
Organize, we'll have the table on the stage. I don't know if IS 25, in the past, we've had like this, like 185 had like a performance. I don't know if that's gonna be the case.
I don't know, but I can.
But we should have a flag up there. So we
I
should
told
do
her
the,
already.
the statue.
I told her to set up the
Okay.
stage and the podium, the flag and the tables and the chairs.
Okay, perfect. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Joe, I'll volunteer as well.
Okay.
I don't know 100% that I'm gonna be able to make it on that day, but I'll confirm with Carly in the next few days if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's no problem. I mean, it's like a celebratory occasion, so it's pretty easy-going and it's a great event. It's nice, and it's nice to be in person,
Yeah.
have people come in person.
And I just want to, make sure.
I don't want to tell you what your dress code should be, but probably appropriately dressed, because it's like a photo opportunity also. And it's our last meeting as our CEC, and I don't know who's going to be here or not next term, but we usually take a picture and it hangs in the office here.
And I just want to make sure everyone, understands that the stream, it's going to be a one-way stream.
So what that means,
Live.
it means it's live, but we're not going to be able to take.
It's not like.
No, it'll be recorded, but the people online will only be able to observe. They cannot.
Correct, they're not going to be able to comment.
Right. So if any council members can't be there, they're not going to be able to speak. They can only watch.
That's right.
Understood?
Okay.
Understood.
Okay, good. So, anything else? About the award, we have to talk and vote. Do we have to vote publicly for this Joe Kessler Award, or we can talk about it during the breakout room?
It's over in the breakout room.
All right, we'll
It's
talk
not
about
a
it during the
public-
breakout room, and then what we'll do is I'll let Carly, Carly be here, right?
It's not me.
Go ahead.
So July meeting, who decides on the July meeting?
So the July meeting.
The
is
date we already
first
sent
meeting
them.
of the new council, so the election results will come out before July 1st. And then we already voted on what date in July, I
Yeah.
think it's July, the first meeting
12,
in
something
July
like
is
that.
July 12th.
Something along those
4th
lines.
of July, I think is on a Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mhm.
So the new council will come in that date, and on that date, you'll vote for your officers, and you'll pick the dates for the next 2 terms, right? The next 2 years.
the next year.
Next year, sorry.
We usually do it
And
from
there's a
from
script
beginning to
that
end.
will come out on the first, on July. So all the members that are, if no one is
I already
new,
have it printed.
you know, Carly will. The results probably come out sometime in June. I think the
Because they're still
election is
electing,
on
right?
May 9th, right?
Yeah, till May 9th.
Then they can't be officers. They can,
Unless
unless they put in the,
so I know District 26 had elections and then the president went on to the PEP and they have an acting president, but they haven't voted, they have not reached quorum on who's president. So that's the way, but there'll be a whole script that you'll get. Harley will facilitate that.
yeah. We've had that happen where we don't have quorum for the first one, but in August, then everything kind of
Then they
was.
do it, then they do the offices in August. I wish everybody luck for that. We'll have our goodbyes at the award ceremony also. We can talk about that. And if there's no other, you know, we always go long with, I don't even know what time it is.
That's 9 o'clock.
So we're doing pretty good.
Consider. You want to do the breakout room?
We
Sir, let me just say that we thank you guys as a, you know, as a committee for all that you have done. For those of you that are running, best of luck to you in this election, and look forward to seeing many of you again in July. But we thank you for all that you guys do for our district.
And it's always a pleasure to work with the district office. A lot of other districts don't have the cooperation that we have, and we really have a nice relationship, and I hope that continues to stay with the district. Okay, if no one else has any comments, we're gonna break out into that breakout room so we can talk about this Joe Kessler Award. And then we can always communicate via email, but you know where we're going to be on Tuesday, June 6th. Emery, you have a question?
Yeah, are we coming back after the executive session to talk at all before you close the meeting?
I think we have to, right, Carly?
Okay.
I do want to bring something up, but it has nothing to do with the Joe Kessler Award.
You said it has nothing to do with it?
It has nothing to do with the award
talk about it
ceremony or
now.
Joe Kessler. We'll talk about it now. Okay. So one of the things that just popped into my head while I was listening to you talk before, Joe and Venus, you know, I think we would be remiss as a council to not address the fact that our borough president appointees were never appointed in the 2 years of this term. I think that we should at least a letter stating that it wasn't fair to our community, to us as a council. I think we need to say something.
So I kind of agree. I mean, we've been asking the borough presidents since
Yeah.
last year for the appointed representatives. I know for a fact that there were applications submitted.
Right.
But they were never appointed. I
Right.
also know that Monica Gutierrez, who was the representative from the borough president's office for schools, she's no longer with the borough president's office.
Right, but she was there for the first year plus of our term, of this last term. So, because I did outreach to her a few times and she just kept, you know, there was excuse after excuse, but I just feel that that is our responsibility. And that goes along with what Venus was saying, is like, we have to represent, that's what we're here for. And the fact that we were ignored and other councils in the city were ignored and never got their appointees, it was detrimental to us. And that was a big impact, especially for us, because we were so down on numbers.
I agree with you, and what really angers me more is that District 26 had their appointed representatives for the July meeting.
Yes.
He's appointed in District 26, but he did not appoint in District 25. I agree
Right.
with you. I mean, we really should do a letter. I don't know, you offered that, Emery. Are you comfortable with, you know, starting it and we can circulate it?
Yeah,
With each
definitely.
other?
I think that's,
Yeah.
I mean, we were here, I mean, Eden came on the last and she wanted to make a change, and this is part of that change. This is a voice that we can leave saying, we didn't accept this.
And I'm not even sure if you put your application in, Eden, right, through, for the borough appointed.
I couldn't, unfortunately, because of where I live.
Okay, okay.
Crystal did though, and Crystal never
Crystal
heard.
did though, yeah.
You never heard from them.
Exactly. So I knew that there were some other council members that sat on the council before.
But that was a huge impact at that point with everything, definitely.
And Face encouraged her to apply. I think both of you,
Yeah.
right? Face.
Yeah, they
So, I
did
mean,
reach out to both
Face-
of us at the time.
Right, so that made it even more like, I don't understand. It's,
So no, it was funny because I was told that there were no applications submitted, and I'm like, you're wrong. There are applications submitted. They told me, no, there's no applications. So maybe they didn't like the applicants. I don't know.
right. I mean, that could be, but there was no transparency there with that. I mean, we know, like you said, we definitely know there were applicants. We know one was, you know, an applicant. Face was at all of our meetings, you know, with Crystal and Eden with, you know, through that. So they knew that she applied. And also Christine Rupert, they knew that she, or Beniglio, they knew that she applied, and she actually had a phone call from someone at one point from Borough President's office that was asking her some more questions about her application, and then she never heard anything again. So there were definite candidates.
There were candidates, I could tell you. I submitted, I mean, I can't run because my kids graduated out. I submitted my application about a month ago. I don't know, I may not be appointed either. That, you know, I got no responses. But that's for the next term. I got a confirmation, like an email confirmation that my application was received, but nothing else. But like I say, the same thing happened last term, and I knew there were 3 or 4 applicants. They never heard from the borough president.
Right.
But
The
no, I
last
know that,
time-
Anne Marie, that was definitely a huge thing because I definitely received the email from Face when everything was happening. And I unfortunately, even though my children and their father live in District 25, I live outside of the district. So I couldn't apply, but they were like, apply. And I was like, well, I can't qualify under that setting. And then Crystal was able to, so they were like, well, at least one of you can apply and let's go from there. And they were like, at least go from it. And that was a huge thing at the time. So I think that's definitely a big thing for us to like push about.
I agree.
I think,
I'm sorry. What's that?
I think I was the last borough appointee.
Who's that, Anne Marie?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I also approached.
and that was Sandra Lee. That it wasn't Donovan, it was Sandra.
It wasn't Donovan Richards, right?
Right, it was Sandra Lee, the interim borough president. So we got nothing from him at all.
I know. I don't know, and I don't know, you know, he's definitely involved in South Queens. I don't know what his involvement is in our section of Queens, but it's unfortunate because, you know, we're missing two representatives. I mean, we're glad that you came on, Eden, we got you, but it took a long time to get you on also, right?
Yeah.
And then, then we had Rushdie quit, so it's just, we're back to the same thing, which was weird.
And I know looking at how many people applied for next year, there's definitely going to be people that are going to be putting in for it if they're not elected, I'm sure. So there will be applicants.
Yes, I think so. I know that, I forgot what I was going to say.
It's rough to get old.
Yeah, I'm getting old. I just know that, I know Face, I've talked to Face about it many times. And even this candidate that was supposed to come today, they told me you cannot tell a parent not to apply. And you cannot have a parent come in for an interview. I know we spoke about it on the side, but if this person came in today, we would have had to interview her because what are we going to say, no? And then we probably would have voted like, you're coming on the very last month. What's that going to do?
So she
never showed up.
She didn't show up, but Veronica Mills, right? That's her name. She notified you.
I gave her all the information.
We
Okay, I'll see you at the
confirmed
meeting.
that we had the meeting this evening. She didn't show up today, so we avoided that. So if you don't mind, Amber, you want to get the letter started?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, and Eden, if you want to contribute,
That should reflect.
we could circulate it via email and then make some revisions if we want. Is that okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Anne
should
Marie,
all
if you
have
need
our
any help,
information.
let me know.
Okay, yeah, I'll reach out to you.
Have you
That would be a
seen
great
Anne
idea.
Marie's letters?
Okay, so now.
I do like to write a good letter.
My God.
Exactly. So if there's nothing else to discuss, why don't we go into the breakout room? I don't know if we have to come back. Do we have to
Come back,
We
close the
probably
meeting
adjourn
and come back and join the meeting. Yeah,
Yeah.
bye, executive session. Bye. Esther.
Okay. Sorry, no.
Oh, we're leaving?
Yeah, we have executive session. So it's just that.
Bye, guys. See you later.